Hello learners. In today's session, we're going to learn about how to differentiate between metals and non-metals. To know that, we must know some of the properties which only the metals can exhibit. That is, hard and lustrous, they are hard and lustrous, malleable and ductile, sonorous and good conductor of heat and electricity. These are all the physical properties of a metal. If you want to call something as a metal, that thing has to show all these properties. So let us discuss these properties in detail. First, here it is, hard and lustrous. So first of all, you know the meaning of hard. That means anything which is not a soft thing, right? Whose surface is rigid, you can call it, or not soft. Second thing, lustrous. What is the meaning of lustrous? Lustrous means any surface which can reflect light, or you can call it as shiny. Okay, so almost all metals are shiny. You might have come across metals which are hard and shiny. Example, gold, iron, copper, right? So there are so many metals which are hard, shiny surface. Let us come to next property, that is malleability and ductility. Metals are malleable and ductile in nature. What is the meaning of malleability, or what is the meaning of malleable? So metals are malleable means metals can be beaten into thin sheets. So metals can be made into a thin sheet. That property is only exhibited in metals. Like you can take a hammer, you can beat any metal into a thin sheet. Another property of metal is they are ductile. What's the meaning of ductile? Ductile means metals can be drawn into thin wires. So you have come across in your home, you might have seen aluminum wire, copper wire, etc. So metal has another property which is ductility. Next thing is sonorous. Sonorous means a particular sound produced by metals when they are hit by something. Metal produces sound when they are hit by something or when they are fell on ground. And the last and very important property of metal are they are very good conductors of heat and electricity. That means they allow heat and electricity to pass through them. That is, whatever kitchen utensils you are using in your kitchen, those are made up of mainly metals or metal alloys. So what are alloys? Alloys, we will learn about alloys in our next coming session. Okay, so how you gonna conclude this? So simple thing, if a material show all these properties, or if the materials which generally possesses these properties are called as metals. If you know the how you can differentiate a metal, you can easily differentiate with a non-metal. But there are exceptions, like metals like sodium and potassium do not show hardness or rigidity on their surface. They are soft that you can easily cut them with a knife. And also there's one and only metal which is liquid in state. These exception aside, all other metals have all these properties, and whichever material doesn't have or lacks one, at least one property in these properties, we can't consider it as a metal, we consider it as a non-metal. Let me give you an example. Glass. So when glass is hit by something, it produces a sound, but you can't draw glass into a thin wire or beat it into a thin sheet, right? Thin wire or sheet. So hence it lacks one of the properties. So hence it is a non-metal. Let me take another example of a shiny material. So shining is shown by metals as we have discussed. So graphite, which is present in the lead of a pencil, shows shining, right? But again, you can't draw it or beat it to thin sheet, or you can make it as a wire. And again, it has another property, that is it's a very good conductor of heat and electricity. Good conductor of heat and electricity. Still, it is considered as a non-metal because it doesn't show all the properties. If you take an example of wood, wood when fell on a ground doesn't make a sonorous sound. Okay, it has its own particular sound, but it is not like a coin falling on a ground on a hard surface. And second thing, if you burn the wood, obviously it will burn. You know that it doesn't conduct heat, right? So, and again, you know that wood is a dry wood is a insulator, or it doesn't let electricity to pass through it. Hence, wood can be considered as a non-metal. So how you gonna conclude that? That is, non-metals, the materials that are soft and dull and can be broken down into powdery mass and are not sonorous and poor conductors of heat and electricity, are non-metals. So learners, here are some materials. Differentiate them into metals and non-metals. In our next class, we'll be studying how we can differentiate between metals and non-metals according to their chemical properties. Signing off. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.